Okay, I am trying to stay organized with my booktube life. So today I want to talk about a fun book swap that I did with a couple other booktubers, and then I also want to just briefly talk about three sort of buddy or group reads that I'm fully committed to on booktube. So first, let's talk about the book swap. So Margaret Pinard, booktuber, author-tuber extraordinaire. If you're not already following her channel, go follow it right now. I've linked it below. She organized a book swap at the end of April focusing on independent bookstores. And now I'm forget it was for like Independent Bookstore Day, I think was sort of the kickoff. And so the idea was you would sign up through a spreadsheet that Margaret created to buy books for somebody else from your local independent bookstore, and then ship them to that person. And everyone could set a dollar limit, so it wouldn't, so you could, ahead of time, you could sort of let people know what you were willing to pay. And it was really fun. So I got books from two people, so from Margaret herself, and then also from David Wiley, who is a new booktuber, whose channel I'm really enjoying, and I'll talk about him more later in this video as well. But anyway, I'm very excited about the choices that they got for me. So I now have most of them. So I'm not going to talk in too much detail about some of these. So we need New Names by NoViolet Bulawayo, which I'm really excited about. I heard about this on Britta Bowler's channel a little while ago. This was a finalist for the Man Booker Prize. So that is really awesome. It takes place in Zimbabwe, and I think it's literary fiction taking place in Zimbabwe. So I'm excited about that. Then Margaret also sent me The Heart's Invisible Furies by John Boyne, which I am also really looking forward to. So it's about Cyril Avery, who's born out of wedlock to a teenage girl cast out from her rural Irish community and adopted by a well-to-do, if eccentric, Dublin couple. And it's his story. And then something I've never heard of, which is always exciting. So Margaret found this Wild Delicate Seconds, 29 Wildlife Encounters, Black Bears to Bumblebees by Charles Finn. So it's a slim volume, and I think it's just some natural history observations. Like here's an entry on snowy owls, for example, and it's page and a half long, so just like really short essays. And for anyone who's new to my channel, I'm a biologist, an environmental scientist in particular, so this will definitely make me very happy. And then finally from Margaret, something that's been on my TBR since I read The Deep by Rivers Solomon is their earlier work, An Unkindness of Ghosts. So I'm really looking forward to this one as well. So thank you, Margaret. These were all perfect. Oh, and I should have mentioned for the book swap, we shared some sort of like wish list or alternatively a list of books you already own via Goodreads or via Storygraph, so people could know not to buy you things that are already duplicates for you. And then from David, I have three books, and I know there's a fourth one on the way from him. So first is The Widow Queen by Elzbieta Cherezinska, which I might be butchering, even though I lived in Poland for a while, but I've forgotten how to pronounce Polish. But I think this is epic fantasy by a Polish author, and I found out about this from Katie over at Katie Reads and Rants, so I will link her channel below. I'm really excited about this one. Then a book needs no commentary, Kindred by Octavia Butler. I have never read any Octavia Butler, which is a huge gaping hole in my reading history, so I'm very excited to give this one a shot, and then keep moving through her works. It's very exciting. And then also from David, Under Heaven by Gavriel K, which I first heard about actually on Liz's channel for Booking Out Loud, so I will link her channel below, which sounds really awesome. So yeah, it's like a little bit historical fiction-y from the Tang Dynasty in China, but like sort of reimagined, and now I'm forgetting if maybe there are some fantastical elements. I don't remember. Yeah, so I think there are some fantastical elements. So this just sounds really fun and right up my alley. And I think it came out in like 2010. So I'm a little like, how did something like this exist this long without me knowing about it? But So that's exciting. And then the final one that I have coming from David, which hasn't arrived yet, but he already told me about it because I'm going to read it with him on his channel, is Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. So David is really into medieval literature, and so he is doing a new monthly read-along, so just one book per month, and it's called Medieval Monthly. And so he's starting it this month, June, the kickoff, with Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. And so I think I should get that any day now, and I'm really excited to read it with him. If you want to join in on that particular book, or if you want to follow David and get future updates for future picks for Medieval Monthly, you should definitely go check out his channel. He's also going to be doing a regular read-along with books related to the Inklings, the literary group that included J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, and so probably won't do that one every month, but I really like the Inklings, so I will also be trying to join in on that one periodically, so you should definitely go check out his channel. Okay, so those are my book swap things, but I still want to talk about Margaret Pinard. So I won a giveaway over on her channel. I think she does a monthly giveaway of books, knickknacks, things that she's sort of accumulated and used to give away at in-person author events, but of course those haven't been happening lately, so she's trying to find another way to sort of declutter with all these little goodies. And so she hosted, I think, her first one in May, and I won the giveaway. So these are little, they're like themed, or at least I think she's still experimenting with the structure, but at least in May they were sort of themed little packages. And so the themed package that I selected was called Burr, because I currently live in Minnesota and I'm moving to upstate New York. So the theme is cold. So first we have The Arctic Fury by Greer McAllister. This is it says it's an advanced reader's copy, but I should have looked up when it actually came out. I'm assuming it's out by now. Yeah, 2020, so it's probably out. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this. Let's see. Eccentric Lady Jane Franklin makes an outlandish offer to adventurer Virginia Reeve. Take a dozen women, trek into the Arctic, and find her husband's lost expedition. 4 parties have failed to find him, and Lady Franklin wants a radical new approach. Put the women in charge. Sounds great to me. I'm all about this. I've been really curious to read more about the Arctic since last summer I read a book by Hampton called, oh gosh, now I don't remember. I'll put the title down below, but it was an account of one of the attempts to find the North Pole. So it was an account of the ship, the USS Jeanette. Its captain, Nathaniel Long, I hope I'm remembering his name right, and all of his crewmen, and their really heroic attempt to find the North Pole. And it was in the 1870s. Folks might be aware the North Pole wasn't actually found until a few decades after that, so you sort of know going in what's going to happen to this expedition, but it was just like absolutely harrowing. I listened to it on audio and I just could not stop. Like I would sit in my driveway and like listen to it after I'd been listening to it driving. So I really want to read more about some of those Arctic expeditions, so I'm excited for a fictional treatment of it. And then also as part of the Burr package, I got this lovely literary scarf, and I have bought these types of scarves for people before for Christmas gifts, and I haven't gotten one for myself yet before. So I'm really excited about this. So it's an infinity scarf with a passage from Jane Eyre on it. So that is a lovely thing for me. Again, as I said, living in Minnesota currently and moving to upstate New York shortly. So excited about that. So thank you, Margaret. And if you want to do monthly giveaways and things, head on over to Margaret's channel if you're not already familiar with it. Okay, and then finally, I just want to talk about 2 other buddy reads that I'm doing this month. So I am reading Akata Warrior with Katja Weinert, and we were supposed to start this actually 2 days ago on May 30th. It's now June 1st, and I was reading The Rage of Dragons, so I'm starting it a little bit late. But I'm going to read this probably over the next week with Katja, and we read Akata Witch together in May, and then decided to continue immediately with this one because we both really enjoyed the first one and want to know what happens. And then with Margaret Pinard, actually, this was like the Margaret Pinard video. So over on her Patreon, She does a bi-monthly book club. So book club is on this month, and we are reading Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. So I'm excited for something a little more sort of thrillery, a little more maybe action oriented. So that should be a fun read, and reading something a little bit different than what I've been reading over the past year or so. So I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. Those are my book swaps, my upcoming couple of buddy reads. Oh, there's one more. I'm joining in on a group read along over on Noah's channel. Everyone who reads it must converse. He's doing a Dragonlance read along, whatever. I think hosted with a bunch of other people. So for June, July, and August, reading the 3 books of the original Dragonlance Chronicles trilogy, which is my life in books. Minus dragons. So I am going to read the first book in the Dragonlance series as part of that read along, which is a reread for me and will just be lovely and enjoyable. So I think that's everything I've got. So thank you if you stuck around this long. If you want to see more, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks. Bye.